Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another horror movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing The Hills Have Eyes, released in 2006. Directed by Alexandre Aja, from a script by Aja and Gregory Levasseur, starring Aaron Stanfield, Kathleen Quinlan, Vinessa Shaw, Emilie de Ravin, Dan Byrd, Billy Drago, Robert Joy, Ted Levine, Desmond Askew, Ezra Buzzington, Michael Bailey Smith, Laura Ortiz, and Greg Nicotero. Now, this film is what I kind of wanted back when the original film was brought out. They cast some really great actors to play Ethel and Big Bob, with Kathleen Quinlan and Ted Levine. Not to mention the fact that they also have Vinessa Shaw giving an equally great performance as Dee Wallace in here. And Emilie de Ravin, I think, outdoes her original actress in this film. She is excellent in her role. And Aaron Stanford and Dan Byrd doing Doug and Bobby are better than those lame bad actors that they had in there in that original film. So, Alexandre Aja's version of the film does hit on things like that and makes it a better experience for someone who was slightly disappointed by the Wes Craven one. However, the writing, early in the film at least, sticks too close to the original film. I mean, if you're going to do a remake, do it in a way to where it's different. Whereas it hits all of the same beats throughout early parts of this film. It's not until like the finale, the last maybe 30 minutes, that it starts breaking new ground and doing something different with these characters. Now, the characters are played better than they were in the original Wes Craven film. But they're just going over the same things. I mean, I shouldn't have to worry about spoiling anything here, but, you know, if you were worried about spoilers, go watch this movie first, then come back and look at my review. But, I mean, Kathleen Quinlan's Ethel, same thing happens to her. Same exact thing happens to her inside the motorhome. And same thing with Vinessa Shaw. Same exact outcome for her as what happened with Dee Wallace. And, you know, and the same thing with Ted Levine's Big Bob. It ends the same way. He gets torched and burned to death. Basically until the moment where Doug comes across the abandoned town and gets knocked out and put into the fridge, and then wakes up and comes out of that and gets attacked. Everything before that was basically the same. And really there's not really that much different as far as the outcome of who survives and who dies. For instance, with that scene, that could have been a change from the original film where Doug gets killed, which he doesn't get killed in the original film. But he still survives the film. Now, the biggest change in this, other than that sequence, is the mutants are changed slightly. Some of them have the same names, like Michael Bailey Smith plays Pluto, which I think he's a stronger version of Pluto in this. And Billy Drago plays Papa Jupiter. But those are basically the only ones that remain the same as far as their names go. And then, you know, Mars is replaced by Robert Joy's The Lizard character. And Mercury is replaced by Ezra Buzzington's Goggle. And then they added a couple of new ones, but they don't amount to much. I mean, Desmond Askew's big brain basically amounts to basically taking what was Pluto's original death scene and getting it done on him by having his throat ripped out by Beast. That's basically all he did. He basically took his kill while Pluto got a new kill in the film. But the biggest change, other than the names of the mutants, basically, and that big scene in the mining town, was Laura Ortiz's Ruby ends up sacrificing herself to kill Robert Joy's Lizard when he is attacking Doug. Whereas in the original, Ruby attacks and distracts Mars while Doug is able to get the advantage then. This, she literally tackles him and they go tumbling over a cliff and they both die. And of course it's Lizard instead of Mars. Not really too big of a change, because Ruby didn't really make too big of an impact in the original film, really anyway. So other than her big swerve where she changes and helps the family instead of helping the mutants where she's originally aligned. But pretty much a lot of this film is basically the same thing, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's not as egregious, thankfully, as what the Gus Van Sant Psycho movie is, but this film is kind of akin to the Night of the Living Dead 1990 remake, which I covered on the channel recently, as directed by Tom Savini, where it played it too safe and too close to the vest in most of this film. It didn't change enough. And, you know, that's unfortunate because, like I said, all the different cast members in this make this probably the superior film in a lot of respects. So, my final review for the 2006 version of The Hills Have Eyes, I am going to give this film a little bit higher score than I gave The Hills Have Eyes. I'm going to give this one a 9.8 out of 10. Now, had they changed more in this, it might have been a 10 out of 10. But it is a pretty good improvement as far as the cast. So that's why I gave it a higher score than the original film. But what do you think of the 2006 Hills Have Eyes? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or a ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes live on the channel, it will go live for all Plus members to view. And then I will put another post up to get you guys to request more. So it's not a one-time thing. And then it'll eventually, those videos will go live on the channel for all members to see. So if you want to get interactive and, you know, help add content that you want to see on the channel, now's your opportunity.
Well, that's it for another horror movie night. If you missed last week's horror movie night video, you can check it out in the link above. Or if you have missed any of our videos on horror movie night, check out this playlist and you can check out anything that you've missed.